ladies and gentlemen. I'm here again with my friend Carlton Fellows, renowned gospel artist, internationally known. He's here today. We're going to talk about, if you know, the title of the show is Make Something Happen. So we want to learn more about what he's doing, what he's making happen in the gospel music circuit. We talked earlier about his concert coming up. Some of you are aware of that. Carlton, briefly give us some information. You know, like the three R's. You know, what, where, and where. The W's on your concert.
The concert is going to take place this coming Friday, December the 2nd at 7:30 p.m. at the University Circle United Methodist Church, and that's located at 1919 East 107th Street at the corner of Chester.
Okay.
And the title of the concert is A Night of Praise and Inspiration, and we're going to come together singing songs of praise and worship, of inspiration, of encouragement, and just of uplift, to uplift our community.
Awesome. Is there a fee for the concert?
No, there's no admission fee. It's a free will offering, open door event.
Okay, so we're looking forward to that on Friday. He's got some awesome singers lined up to perform with him, and his musical director is Phil Jones, as some of you may know. So we look forward to that on Friday. So we want to learn more about really who Carlton Fellows is with regard to the gospel music industry. And we've already talked about your concert, why you wanted to do that. And so, what other things that you've done in the past? I've heard, we've heard about the male chorus. You want to tell us something about that, and just something, what else is going on with you musically?
Well, in December of '07, I formed the Cleveland Men of Song, a citywide men's chorus here in the city, and we did our first concert on February 2008 for Black History, and it has been an annual event from that point to this one. And the group is comprised of fellows from different churches, various denominations, different professional backgrounds, coming together. And our common thread and bond is that we love choral singing. And it has really been a blessing to be the head person of those fellows. Wonderful men, easy to work with, cooperative, and have a passion for what they're doing.
Okay, I remember that first concert that first year you had. That was, ladies and gentlemen, I just have to tell you, that was such a it was a really moving experience tonight. When I came in, I actually had sat in the very last seat in the church there. It was up in the balcony, right up against the wall, and looking down and seeing those men of God singing praises, and it literally brought tears to my eyes. And I've been excited to go back, year after year to see the different the concerts and the venues that you've had it at. And you've also brought in special guests at different times. You try to change it up and build from event to event. Tell us a little bit about
the last time we did it, we brought in opera singer Janice Chandler Etame. And I came to be introduced to Janice when she recorded on the Journey album of Brother Richard Smallwood. And she sang a tune called We Worship You. And I was just so impressed with the anointing that she possessed, and so I called her to come and be our guest for that evening. And she came, and it was just a phenomenal experience working with her. And the fellows backed her up on a couple of numbers, and then she did some stuff by herself. So it was just wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes, that was fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your journey in music. I want to say, first of all, that I had first met Carlton at a gospel music workshop that he had given. This was back in, was it 1989 that I met you? 1990. I had met him. I was at another church and dilly-dallying myself as a musician, and I got the postcard of the church, and I asked if I can go. They sent me there. And I met him, and that opened up my world, my eyes a whole lot more, to the genre of gospel music. And if you want to say black gospel, African American gospel, if you will, coming out of the roots, of the spirituals, from the old days, but really bringing in. I can remember Thomas Dorsey and all the
Oh
different
yes,
singers,
oh yes,
when the
oh
music
yes.
really started to change, and I was there. Like if you remember Dunn Pearson, I know he's gone on to do some
Yeah, I went
great
to school with
things.
Dunn Pearson.
Yes,
We graduated together from JFK.
John F. Kennedy.
He,
Woo! Egos. We're egos here. Sorry about that. Any tar blooders or anybody else out there in the local area. We all have our school spirit. But I can remember we did a song. It was called Jesus Lover of My Soul. They began to, at that point, to take some hymns, our traditional hymns, and rearrange them
oh yes,
into
oh
awesome
yes.
gospel, powerful tunes. So this is this industry, this thing called gospel music is very built from the soul, and people are really singing from experience, and others
Yeah.
experience, and really, it really just gathers and unites people of all cultures, as I've
Oh
seen
yes.
over the years, and also Carlton here. He's a musician as well, so I actually ended up joining the church where he was a musician, and we were there for a number of years together. Now we're again at another location. He's playing somewhere else. But tell us even like your journey. I'd like for you to just tell our audience about your journey in music.
Well, I started singing at the age of 5 at the Greater Abyssinia Baptist Church, and I had a love, a passion for music, and I wanted to play. I was just mesmerized by the musicians at Greater Abyssinia, and I would just learn all the material and stand up and sing with the choir right there sitting with my grandmother.
Okay, how old were you, Carlton?
Oh, I couldn't have been no more about 4 years old.
See.
And if you go through there now, some of the old saints that are still around will attest to that.
Okay.
And and then in 1961, the church changed leadership,
Mm-hmm.
and they brought in Theophilus Calvinist to pastor the church, and along with him came his wife, who was a phenomenal musician. She was a graduate of Westminster Choir College in
Wow.
Princeton, New Jersey, and she came in and just literally changed the face of the music department there at the church. And she took myself and a few other young people up under her wings,
Mm-hmm.
and just taught us so much, and just imparted and instilled in us so much. And I am so grateful for that to this day,
Yes.
because it has been such a blessing to me in being music director at different churches and traveling the world and working with all kinds of folk, gospel, secular folks, all of
Okay.
that, that training,
Yes.
that discipline of that training that I got has been such a great blessing.
Absolutely.
And I'm very, very grateful for that. And to go back to what you had said when you and I first met
Mm-hmm.
in 1990, when I had the Anointed Ministries Music and Worship Seminar, that went on for 6 years. We started
Yes.
it the first year in 1990, and it was a citywide music workshop. Churches came from as far as Canton, Ohio,
Yeah.
Akron, Canton, Elyria, and Greater Cleveland. And we came together for an entire week.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
learned
Yes.
what this business of gospel music and worship music was and how it should be done.
Yes.
And we brought in wonderful artists from this city to teach and to instruct.
Mm-hmm.
And I was led to do that because I felt a need. We got so many young, talented young people in our churches, but sometimes they don't have the outlet to go and learn
Yes.
so that they can better perfect their gift. And so this was one of the ways to do that. And we did it for actually 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then the Lord opened doors for me to start traveling overseas and doing concerts and workshops
I
and
remember that.
stuff like that. And so that's kind of how that ceased.
Okay.
And we started moving into a new area and a new direction, and moving more into, along with the singing and performing, composing, and all of that. And so it's just been a wonderful journey, a wonderful experience, and it still is
Yes.
a great journey and
Yes.
still is a great experience, because I'm yet continuing on and learning and growing and.
Yeah, absolutely. But what are some of the other singers or recording artists you've had opportunities to perform with?
Well, I've worked with Reverend James Cleveland. I've worked with Reverend Isaac Douglas. I've worked with Dr. Bobby Jones. I have worked with. I'm a part of the Gospel Music Workshop of America.
Okay.
I'm a member there, and so with that association, I have been blessed to connect with so many national and international gospel artists in that, and a lot of my material has been recorded by the Gospel Music Workshop. And I also work with the National Baptist Sunday School Congress.
Okay.
Been working with them as a writer for almost 20 years now.
Wow, that's awesome. And one awesome thing that that's come out of all of this was this past year that you had the opportunity to have one of your songs in the upcoming hymnal. Tell us a little bit about that, Carlton.
Yes, in June of this year,
Okay.
The new National Baptist hymnal was released. The title of the hymnal is Total Praise.
Okay.
And I was, one of my compositions, a tune that the Lord blessed me with some time ago, was inducted into that new book.
Okay.
And the tune is Time and Praise. All day long I've been with Jesus.
You want to give us a little acapella rendition? Just a little line. Oh, come on. Don't you want to hear Carlton sing a little bit? Like, come on, Carlton. I know I caught you off guard asking you that.
Many people, most of the people in the church community have sung that song, and the wonderful thing about it is it has just not stayed in our community, but it has moved through the Caucasian Christian community. It's just the Lord blessed it greatly.
Okay, that's
and
awesome.
We're just so honored and privileged to be inducted into the National Baptist hymnal. That's an honor.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be
in your lifetime.
Okay.
For that, and so I'm just very, very grateful for that.
Yes, because usually all the composers, they're the late someone or someone. Yes. So
but that trend is changing.
Okay.
Yes, that's a wonderful thing.
Yes, we do have a lot of talented composers, and that's
indeed.
awesome. And congratulations that you were able, to have one of your songs in that hymnal. Okay, what else? What's on the horizon for Carlton? What are some of your desires or aspirations? Something you want to get done?
I'm looking to do some expansion in my music, and even after having been able to work over in Europe and whatnot, you find out that people are basically the same everywhere.
Okay.
We all have the same humanistic issues that we deal with and whatnot, and so I got a chance to really work with a lot of people in Europe from the secular side.
Okay.
And many of those people love God. They love Him. They sing the music about Him, and so even along with their regular repertoire, they have included, many of them, a segment where they do gospel music.
Wow.
And so that's a blessing. And so we're going to be moving into some of those areas, broadening a little bit as we move into the next year, and got some things lined up, that we'll be discussing at a later time.
Okay, we'll look forward to learning more about that. I want to go back a little bit. You talked about going over to Europe and traveling. There was a group that you had with, some of the local guys that put together the evangelistic team. And as you were speaking, I was beginning to think about, some of the men. Tell us, about that part of your life and the journey and being with them in the evangelistic team, and some of the guys that, have gone on.
Well, that was a 12-year
Wow.
wonderful stretch.
Wow.
I'll give you some of the names of the people. Well, I'll give you the names of the
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
that was in that group. My former pastor, who passed on, Bishop James Redmond Jr., Elder Leonard Champion,
Oh
and
yes.
these two
Woo!
giants have moved on uh, uh, to their heavenly home.
Yes, yes.
Brother Leonard Burks,
Mm-hmm.
another wonderful songwriter and musician, Elder Michael Dotson,
Absolutely.
who came with us right out of high school, playing for us and traveled all over this country with us. And Reginald Thigpen
Oh,
was a part
okay.
of
I
us.
remember Reggie. I didn't. Yes,
He
yes,
was a part of us. And
yes.
so Elder Stephen Gully, Bishop Stephen Gully,
Yep,
he
Steve.
was our first musician. He was our first musician, and then he moved on. His ministry opened up, and he moved on to do some other things, and Michael came in.
Okay.
But the experience and traveling and singing with these guys was just awesome,
Yes.
and I cherish that to this day.
Yes. Yes.
And Leonard, Michael, and myself, and Steve, we are still here.
That's right.
And but everybody's kind of doing their own thing in their own different ministries, and we don't get a chance to really work together.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I can get to whatever they're doing, I'm there. I still have a great appreciation for the gifting of those fellows.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a little excerpt of the evangelistic team a little later on in the program, so you can hear the value and the tone, the connection that these gentlemen had together. Such a being on one accord with their music and their singing. But with that, Carlton, is there any advice that you would like to give the up and coming singer and musician? Is there a separate advice for them, or just give us some words of wisdom, someone who wants to make it in gospel music today? And
Well, I would say to all of the young musicians and singers, you really have to be called to this,
amen.
because it's not about fortune and fame and glamour,
Mm-hmm.
because many times you won't see that.
Yes.
But you have to know that you're called, and this is what God has for you, and you got to be faithful in it. You got to be faithful in it. Go when folk call you. Sometimes they can bless you, sometimes they can't. But you go and bless them.
Exactly.
And remember that God sees everything that we do. He keeps a record of everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And He is certainly pleased and blessed when we do it from our heart,
Yes.
from the depths of our spirit unto Him. And He will bless. He will open doors. But you just got to be faithful. You cannot get into it
Mm-hmm.
to be a star, because there's only one star,
That's it. It's Jesus Christ.
and that's Jesus
Yes.
Himself.
Yes.
And we are just His arms and legs and tools that He uses to get the word out that people must give their life to Him. And that's what it's about.
That's it.
That's what it's about. And so I just want to encourage all the youngsters that are coming up, and those that have been out here for a minute, and you sometimes get discouraged, because sometimes you will. But you just have to know in whom you have believed and in whom you are doing it for,
Yes. Yes.
and keep going.
That's right. Okay. There's been some projects that you've done over the years. I know you have come out with a CD songbook combination, so that people, other musicians and artists can take your music and to be able to teach that to their choirs and their
Right.
ensembles, and carry on that torch on of one of our local artists.
Right.
Yes.
That was our first songbook project. Is entitled Until Then, Total Praise Music Volume 1.
Okay.
And so in 2012, we're going to be doing Volume 2.
Okay. And how will if someone wants to get that set, how can our listening audience here get that?
You can go to North Coast Arts at yahoo.com.
Okay.
and email me what you want, and we'll see that you get it.
Okay, awesome. So,
Yes.
yes, North Coast Arts at yahoo.com, ladies and gentlemen. So that's going to conclude our interview today with Minister Carlton Fellows, renowned gospel artist and musician. Any last words that you want to leave our audience with, Carlton?
Just to say that Cleveland, I would invite you to come out and be with us in worship on Friday, December the 2nd.
Okay.
Some of the music that we have talked about in terms of the songbook project and all of that, we will be doing some of that and more. So I want you to come and be blessed of God. Come with a mind to give God the glory, for He is worthy.
Yes.
Whatever you're going through, whatever your circumstances might look like, it may look grim, it may look dim, but just come, and I promise you, you won't leave the way you came.
All right.
Yes.
Well, that's it. You heard it from Carlton Fellows. He said you won't leave the way you came. So until then, I want you to go out and I want you to make something happen for yourself. Be positive.